There's no denying Aang and Korra are some of the most powerful benders in the Avatar universe. But how do their skills compare to each other? Let's compare these two avatars based on their bending skills in all 4 elements, as well as their abilities in the Avatar state. Let's take a look at their water bending skills first. From the time Aang started his water bending training, it was clear that he was a natural.
Looks like I got the hang of that move.
And because Korra grew up in the Southern Water Tribe, it's no surprise Korra was able to master our first skill on the list, the Water Tower. But Aang was just as capable as Korra. One of the first times he waterbent, he generated a massive vortex. Both avatars used this skill offensively to gain a literal upper hand on their opponents in the water. Our next skill requires slightly less water, but definitely still packs a splash.
You just gotta shift your way through the stances.
The water whip is a key waterbending skill in close combat, and at the mercy of a bender like Korra, it's super effective. Let's move on to the next skill. There's no doubt both these avatars know how to ice bend. But if we're comparing Korra's technique to Aang's, she's definitely more aggressive. Tentacles down. This is one of Aang's most unique skills. But we've never seen Korra attempt it. Can you imagine? Even though both avatars were trained by Katara, only Korra has the ability to heal.
Haven't you hurt me enough, woman?
Relax, I'm a healer. I learned from Katara, the best there is.
No. Ooh, that's the stuff.
Wrapping up our waterbending skills, we have spirit bending.
Amazing.
Although Korra struggled to master it at first, she eventually used it to save the world. Let's move on to our next element, Earth.
Korra, please come in here.
From a young age, Korra was bending Earth effortlessly.
I'm the Avatar. You gotta deal with it.
But Aang initially struggled to perform even the most basic earth-bending techniques.
I'm ready.
Rock beats airbender.
Despite his rocky start, he eventually mastered it.
You did it! You're an earthbender.
Let's start off with an earth-bending basic. This next skill is a super effective blocking technique in close combat battles. Let's move on to the next skill.
Still think I'm a half-baked avatar?
This next offensive skill is pretty advanced, but we've never seen Korra attempt it. We first see Toph use this skill when she's battling the boulder. It's safe to assume she taught Aang how to utilize it in battle as well. Even though we only see Aang use this skill once, that's still more times than Korra. This is another skill Aang may have learned from Toph. Korra may not have learned this skill, but she certainly mastered the next one.
Try to focus on the fine pieces of earth within the metal.
I can't believe it. I'm metal bending.
Wow, you picked that up really quick. Guess you're that 1 in 100.
Great job, Korra.
Korra became the first metal bending avatar. Even though Korra mastered metal bending, neither she or Aang would unlock the power to lava bending. It's time to move on to the element of fire. When it came to learning how to firebend, Aang struggled a lot.
Katara! I'm so sorry!
Katara, what's wrong? What did you do?
It was an accident. I was... Katara, I'm so...
I told you we shouldn't mess around with this. Look what you did. You burned my sister.
It wasn't until he and Zuko sought out the true meaning of firebending that Aang was able to ignite his power. Contrastingly, fire is arguably Korra's most used element for close combat. Let's dive into our first firebending skill. We wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of these blasts. This next skill is how Iroh got his title, the Dragon of the West. We can see how this skill would definitely leave an impression. It's pure rage. This next skill is a high-level firebending move. We've only seen the likes of Avatar Roku and Fire Lord Ozai use it. That is, until Korra unleashed it. Although neither Aang or Korra seem to be able to produce lightning, Aang does have the ability to redirect it. Luckily, it seems like Korra never had to use this skill in battle. But neither Aang or Korra have the ability to combustion bend. But we imagine that'd be a pretty shocking ability combined with the Avatar state. Let's move on to the final element, air. Air is Aang's native element. At the age of 6, he was a better airbender than kids twice his age. And at age 10, he was better than his teachers. At age 12, he was a master, hence his master airbending tattoos. While Aang excelled at airbending, Korra struggled to airbend at all.
Impossible.
I can airbend? I can airbend!
But once she unlocked the power, she was unstoppable. Let's dive into our first skill. This skill is harder than it looks. And when mastered, it's a fast form of transportation and great for games too. Before Aang learned how to earthbend, he had to get creative.
Guys, throw me some coal!
With Korra's rock-solid earthbending skills, we can't imagine she'd ever need to use this technique. Let's move on to the next skill. This skill is so powerful that it extinguished a volcano, but we haven't seen Korra master it. This skill is very similar to the water tower, so it's no surprise both Korra and Aang have mastered it. The air sphere is one of Aang's iconic skills and can be used as a shield. The sphere can even withstand the blast of an explosion. Both Aang and Korra were able to use this ancient airbending tool. An advantage that came in handy for saving lives and showing off.
You know, last time I checked, humans can't fly.
Check again. Oh, it's flying.
Now that we've gone through the elements, let's see how Aang and Korra's skills differ in the Avatar state. Initially, Aang struggled to enter the Avatar state at will, often only activating it when he experienced intense emotions.
You muzzled apple?
I'm sorry! I didn't know it belonged to the Avatar!
Tell me where all is!
I traded him to some merchants. He's probably in Ba Sing Se by now. They were gonna sell him there. Please, we'll escort you out of the desert. We'll help however we can.
Just get out of here! Run!
But after some spiritual work with Guru Patik, and sometimes a conveniently positioned rock, Aang was able to enter the Avatar state at will. On the other hand, Korra was able to access the Avatar state with less obstacles, often utilizing it in battles and races.
The Avatar is the winner!
No fair! You can't go into the Avatar state to win!
Now let's get to these skills. In the Avatar state, Aang and Korra are able to take and restore bending. Without this skill, who knows how the 100-Year War would have ended. When used, this skill has the potential to turn the Avatar into a
Blue Giant!
Well, yes. In these cosmic forms, the Avatar's powers are unbeatable. Communicating with past lives is one of the advantages of being the Avatar, even if it's not always fruitful.
I knew I shouldn't have asked Kiyoshi.
I just want to be left alone.
But you called me here.
Aang,
You have finally connected with your spiritual self.
how?
When we hit our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change.
This next skill proved to be an important tool for both Avatars.
Perhaps he will return soon.
What? No, I'm right here.
Even if they weren't entirely aware when they were doing it. Although any highly spiritual person can enter the spirit world, the Avatar has a special connection to the realm. Aang and Korra's Avatar state skills are pretty similar, but only Korra was able to open a new spirit portal and initiate a new spiritual age.
Spirit portal.
That concludes our skill evolution comparison of Avatar Aang and Avatar Korra. Who else's skills do you want us to compare? Comment below and keep watching for more Avatar content.